And a very good evening to you, and welcome to Rwanda Television News Tonight. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And I'm Martina Avera.
How are you, Martina?
I'm very good. How are you doing tonight?
Very great.
Okay.
Straight to business.
Yes. Starting off, deputies have voted in favor of a law regulating the Rwanda National Police, which provides for punishment for police officers who desert their duties. The punishments vary according to the rank of the police officer and the length of time they have been off duty.
Among the articles reviewed by the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies include Article 63 of this bill, which stipulates a punishment of between 1 and 2 years for a police officer who abandons their duties for more than 15 days. According to the existing law, a junior police officer who escapes from duties and gets caught after a period of more than 6 months is subjected to a sentence between 3 and 5 years in prison, whereas a senior officer found of abandoning work for more than 6 months without a notice is subjected to a sentence of between 5 and 7 years in prison. The president of the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security, Honorable Rugingwa Emmanuel, reiterates the reasons for including such punishments in the new law. The Penal Code establishes crimes and related penalties, but that is on the general public. Yet a police officer is not just a normal citizen. This concerns police officers in particular, and if included in this particular law, it will remove the loopholes in the law. According to the current law governing the Rwanda National Police, a police officer who abandons duties is considered as another public servant who has committed a mistake and given administrative punishments. The Minister of Interior, Alfred Gasana, reiterated that once this law is approved, it will help the Rwanda National Police to better fulfill its responsibilities and close the gaps that arose from the loopholes in the existing law that prevented the National Police from investigating such cases. After relevant authorities discussed on it, we found out that the investigation on traffic crimes should be given to the Rwanda National Police to carry out preliminary investigations and submit the case to the prosecution without necessarily involving the Rwanda Investigation Bureau. This is something that has been delaying the fulfillment of our duties. On other crimes, the Rwanda National Police will be collecting evidence at the scene, then submit the evidence to the Rwanda Investigation Bureau to carry on with the preliminary investigation and later on submit the case to the prosecution. The plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies was also presented with a report of the Standing Committee on Education, Technology, Culture and Youth on the analysis of the report of the in-depth audit conducted by the Auditor General on the implementation of the program aimed at enhancing the teaching and learning of technology in schools known as smart classrooms. The plenary session requested the Prime Minister to present to the Parliament within a 6-month period the strategies to solve the problems related to the planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of the Smart Classrooms program in order to be able to achieve the goals set in the 7-year government program. And as we move ahead to other matters, the private sector in the northern province of Rwanda, after coming in the first place to other provinces in collecting taxes and being praised by the Rwanda Revenue Authority, said that they have taken measures to remain at the forefront in providing taxes that help them to accelerate the development of the country. This was announced when the Rwanda Revenue Authority was thanking taxpayers for the 20th time, the day that coincided with the 25th anniversary of the establishment of this agency. We have more.
In the northern province, in gratitude to the taxpayers, one and only hotel Gorilla Nest located in Kinigi in the Musanze district was one of those that were praised for paying taxes. Hotel Finance Officer Shema Augustin reveals the secret they used to file taxes. There is nothing really special that we do except from following the rules and regulations with the help of the government that invests in the tourism sector. We have regular visitors, so in return we perform our duties, which is to pay taxes on time. The northern province is one that comes first in surpassing the set goals that the provinces had given themselves in collecting taxes, amounting to 37.5 billion. The northern province's tax revenue is at a rate of 34.8%, unlike other provinces. Those who work in the 5 districts that make up the northern province are talking about the secret to raising taxes and what it means to be thanked by Rwanda Revenue Authority. Rwanda Revenue Authority came to award us, and we are thankful for it because we see that the productivity that we provide for it is returned in thanksgiving by showing us that we are in this together and by reminding us to continue paying taxes well and on time, which is our goal. During the celebration of Taxpayer Appreciation Day for the 20th time, the day coincided with the 25th anniversary of this agency, it was revealed that the attitude of taxpayers has increased unlike other years. It was only pointed out that there are still some problems with some traders evading taxes due to smuggling and others not using EBA machines to issue receipts in the city of Kigali and in provincial areas. Deputy Commissioner General of Rwanda Revenue Authority Jean-Louis Kariningondo confirms that Rwanda Revenue Authority is continuing its campaign against those who do not pay taxes. There are measures that were taken and will continue to be taken and implemented. One of them was placing different Rwanda Revenue Authority workers in various centers of businesses in order to come closer to taxpayers and give them opportunities to ask any sort of information that they need to know. The Minister of Defense, Major General Albert Murasira, thanked the private sector for their continued role in the recovery of the country's economy, which was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The good thing is that after the COVID-19 pandemic, things started getting back to normal. Taxpayers continued to offer their due diligence as much as they could. And today we witnessed the fact that they achieved their set goals as well as others who surpassed their goals. This definitely contributed to the growth of the economy. In the northern province, 9 taxpayers were given awards due to the fact that they were able to surpass others in paying taxes. Now moving on, a group of expert doctors and manufacturers of medicines and medical equipment are in talks with the leaders of private hospitals in Rwanda in order to improve the quality of education, leading to the country's goal of earning foreign exchange from tourism based on treatment. Jen Mutoni has the report.
About 20 doctors and manufacturers of medicines and medical equipment are on a working visit to Rwanda with the aim to improve the quality of treatment, as explained by the Director of Economic Policy Department of Czech Republic Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Marek Svoboda.
We are doing here is trying to invest in Rwandan people, to grow, and from what I have seen and heard so far, there is a good potential that Rwanda will become one day the medical hub for East Africa. So, for example, now a lot of people from Kenya are traveling to have the surgeries or, the treatment in South Africa or in Europe or elsewhere or in Dubai. So what we want to concentrate also on to help your country, to build the capacity, to become a medical hub for Eastern Africa, for the people to have the treatment here, the best treatment ever, in the region, and to kind of concentrate on those kind of issues to upgrade the whole system as such.
The president of the Rwanda Private Medical Facilities Association, Dr. Mugenzi Dominique Savio, says that getting good equipment at a low price is one of the benefits expected of this country.
We are here to review the medical supplies that may be needed in our clinic so that these supplies are available to us easily and at the best price. In the discussions we had and in the agreements we will sign soon, this cooperation and interaction between the organization and the Association of Private Clinics in Rwanda will be included.
The ambassador of the Czech Republic in Rwanda, who is based in Nairobi, Kenya, Martin Klepekto, says that Rwanda is their most important partner.
So we've been trying to cooperate with Rwanda in many sectors, but health is among the priorities. We feel we are very strong in the health sector, and we of course want not only to do business but also to share experience with our partners. And here in Rwanda we really found very good partners whom we consider reliable, and we want to deepen and broaden the cooperation with them.
In April 1994, when the genocide against the Tutsi took place in Rwanda, the Czech Republic was at the forefront of showing the world that what was happening in Rwanda is genocide. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
Thank you, Jen. The UN Women Rwanda country representative Jeanette Kame appreciates Rwanda's step towards women development, but points out that challenges that are still existing in different sectors should be dealt with. This was said on Thursday in discussions with Rwanda's Speaker of Parliament. Prince Manzi has more.
The Rwanda Parliament, especially the Women Forum in the Parliament, demonstrates the United Nations Women as its great partner. The President of the Chamber of Deputies in the Rwanda Parliament, Donatilla Mukabalisa, states that they look forward to further strengthening this partnership.
We also demonstrated the new working schemes of our forums and how we are willing to collaborate with the UN Women so that these forums become the master plans and help the commissions in the Parliament in their different assignments, including establishment of laws, in order to know and monitor the activities of the government.
Jeanette Kame, the UN Women Rwanda country representative, states that Rwanda achieved a lot in the development of women, but there requires efforts in some sectors.
Not only for Rwanda, not only for Africa, but globally. There are few countries that have gone beyond 50% of women in parliament, and here we have 61% of women in parliament. We go to government, we see that women are strongly represented, but we still have gaps. We have gaps with leadership for women, especially at local level. We have gaps with areas like the private sector where the capacities have to be built for leadership. And most especially, and which is common to most African countries and almost, I can say, many other countries in the world, is issues of mindsets, issues of attitudes towards women, issues of stereotypes, social norms. Gender equality is a tool for transformation. For us to be transformed, we need to transform from within, from our minds, with the institutions that are in place, with accountability mechanisms in place. We can make sure that we will support as UN, because UN in Rwanda acts as one, UN Women as part of the UN acting as one, will continue to support government in its endeavor to make gender equality a lifestyle for all its population.
It's been 5 months since Jeanette Kame began her activities as the UN Women Rwanda country representative. Prince Manzi, RTV News.
Thank you, Prince Manzi, for that report. Now, motorcyclists who use electric motorcycles express their frustration with the lack of stations for charging their motorcycles, which can lead to losses, especially when they find passengers going to areas without charging stations. Adam Kwizera has the report.
It's been 5 years since Rwanda initiated the use of electricity or solar energy motorcycles as an environmental conservation policy. Some motorists who use these motorcycles revealed the benefits of using them, among which is that they are not affected by the hiking fuel prices. For 900 francs, you can ride over 40 or 50 kilometers comparing to fuel which is now at 1,600. Where you can ride between 35 or 45 kilometers. So you understand there is an advantage. Even though they say this, they still encounter some difficulties, such as a lack of stations for charging these motorcycles. This can be classified as town service. It only works in Kigali. They haven't yet expanded the stations in countrysides, yet it's a challenge to us. The challenge is that you can meet a passenger who wants to go to Gisenyi or Ruhengeri. Then you fail to go with him because of the challenges of lacking stations. So we request the investors to establish those stations so that it shall be accessible as fuel stations. On the side of investors, they are putting efforts in expanding their stations countrywide in order to facilitate their customers access them with ease.
The limitation of stations to cover the entire country is a challenge because it requires an investment to extend our services to secondary cities. But the company is growing and we have a bigger plan of putting up stations in different cities, including the surrounding sectors that are accessing to the secondary cities. And this is something that is going to be gradual. As we started with the city of Kigali, we will be gradually moving to the secondary cities.
So we are starting to do the research to look at other districts of they want, what kind of financing packages they need or are looking for, so that we can also adapt to those local requirements, and then expand out across the country.
In Rwanda, there are more 1,000 electric motorcycles, where a 2021 report revealed by REMA shows that 40% of the gas emissions come from automobile vehicles, as the government sets sustainable plan to reduce gas emissions to 38% by 2030. Adams Guizera, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news production team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us on this edition of Rwanda Television News. My name remains Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Avera.
And up until next time,
Stay safe.
and have a good evening.